Hey, this is Kevin Tanner coming to you with another review. Today we're taking a look at the Micro Galaxy Squadron Series 3 blind box. We're going to be looking at the First Order Trooper on the Tread Speeder. Before I get too deep into the review, which we're going to go ahead and cover the figure, the vehicle, we'll do some measurements. If you do like at any point during this video that you like what it is that I'm talking about, or any of my previous videos, if you could go ahead and like and subscribe to the page, that'd be fantastic. Also in the description, we do have a link to group that I run on Facebook with some friends from all over the world. It's a great group of other collectors that really enjoy Micro Galaxy Squadron, Micro Machines, Action Fleet, and Micro Collection. So let's go ahead and dive into the review. So here we're going to take a look at the First Order Trooper on the Tread Speeder here with Scout Class Series 3. Before we dive too deep into the review, we're going to go ahead and take a look first at the packaging. So here is what the PDQ looks like. You can see here we've got all of the common vehicles here on the front, as well as the flight stand that's included. It's got some really cool box art on the sides, and then on the back here it just says Micro Galaxy Squadron. So if we take a look at the front of the actual box it comes in, here you can see again Series 3, fantastic scene here, great box art on there. On the side here, it does show all of the vehicles. So it's got all of your common vehicles, as well as the chase vehicle and the rare vehicles, the 1 in 5,000, the 1 in 15,000. On the back, here is the SKU if you want to see it, or the UPC. It really doesn't matter on the blinds because unfortunately they're all under the same UPC, so you can't really identify which one is the specific ship. So that is that. So let's go ahead and take a look first at the Tread Speeder. This thing is actually really cool. So the one thing you can tell right away is how, oops, dropped it here, how the back end of the speeder is elevated above the front. And so the first thing I thought when I took this thing out of the box is, oh, this is going to tilt really easily. But this part here on the front is filled in solid. So when you set it down on the table, the back end still sits up, even with the figure on there. As you could see prior to me lifting it up off the table anyways, it does sit up really good. The other thing I really like about this is the color that they used. So I don't know, I haven't taken a look back at the movies to see whether or not it is this bluish color. It's the same color as what we're seeing here on the E-Web cannon, but it does look really nice. So the treads here on the front don't move. The guns aren't articulated either. You can see here that this back seat here is pretty rubbery. It can move around quite a bit, which doesn't really bother me because it's going to be really on display more than anything. And then same thing with the footrests here as well. You can see that I can move those around. But the details on this thing are really, really awesome. Even down in here, some of the piping that's in there, some of the other little pieces that are underneath the seat here look really nice. The treads look really cool. And so, yeah, I like it. So from a measurement perspective, here we are in inches. It's not quite 2.5. It's just over 2¼ inches. If we're looking at this from a centimeter perspective, it's about just short of 6 centimeters. And then from a height perspective, it's 1.5 centimeters. So this does not come with a stand of any sort because of the weighted portion here on the front. You really don't need to. You can just set it down on the table without having a stand. So here is our First Order Stormtrooper. It's the first trooper that we're getting that is from the sequel trilogy, and they did a great job. So you can see the paint detail there on the helmet. There's a little bit of black there for like basically in the armpit area. You've got the blaster on the side of the leg. The hands are painted black. A little bit of black here on the back of the leg. So they do a pretty good job here of capturing some of the detail, especially in this scale. Now, the one thing that I wanted to do is compare this next to a couple different other versions, just to show how Jazzwares has continued to improve the quality of these figures. So this guy is 1 inch tall, just like all the rest of the figures. So I want to compare him first to the Stormtrooper that we got from the transport class, which is the Imperial Troop Transport. So you can see, looks like he's wearing sunglasses, got just a little bit of black there on the mask, a little bit of black on the hands. The detail actually in the sculpt is really nice, but you can't see it just because it's not painted. And so you can see there is a difference there in the hue of the white, that the First Order Trooper is very white. The Stormtrooper is kind of like tinted yellow slightly. That could be just from UV exposure, but likely not, because this guy doesn't sit out in the UV exposed area anyways. So that's that. So then if we look at that one compared to, I'm not going to take him out of this because it's so hard to get back in the C-clamp, but here is the difference between your First Order Trooper and your Stormtrooper here from Series 3. And so again, paint detail looks pretty nice. They did a pretty good job with the application on it. So that is your tread speeder. So if you like the video, if you could please like and subscribe to the page. Again, check out the description for the link to the Facebook page that I run with some friends. And appreciate you hanging out with me and watching.